Dave DeGuzman inside the NBC4i Digital Center with another Digital Sports Roundtable. We are exactly 3 weeks from the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics. Today we're talking all gymnastics, so settle in, folks. We bring in, for the purposes of this conversation, our gymnastics specialist, but you know her as Whitney Harding. Whitney, how is it going? We have a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to talk about. It was quite the unexpected trials, and I think the depth of USA Gymnastics was just truly full on display.
So let's start with the women. We will talk about the men later, but the focus really will be on the women.
Right.
So the team is as follows: Simone Biles, Suni Lee, Jordan Childs, Jade Carey, Hesley Rivera. Those are the 5. We also have the alternates Jocelyn Roberson and Leanne Wong. Just the team overall. Obviously, when you look at this team, it's a lot of depth and a lot of experience.
It's a lot of experience, and that is what is so unique about this team. I mean, there are 2 former Olympic all-around champions, the most recent ones. That has never happened in gymnastics before. And then you've got 4 Olympians from the Tokyo Games. 3 were on the team. Jade Carey was not. She qualified for the Tokyo Games in a completely different way. But she was there and she competed in the all-around and in the event competition. So these are ladies who absolutely have so much experience. And then you've got Hesley Rivera, who has not had experience at this level, but she was a star at the junior level, and not the first time we've seen the junior all-around champion from U.S. Nationals in her first year at the senior level make the Olympic team. I mean, most recently, Lori Hernandez did the exact same thing. So there is a good past with those athletes coming into this team and doing very well.
I think when you bring up Hesley, very interesting in terms of it's good to have someone who's a first timer, because also you want to think long term too. If you had everyone who was returning who's already been there, then you were thinking, well, no one's going to have experience then for LA in 2028. I'm really excited to see her because she's phenomenal and also very young, so a bright future ahead for her.
Yes.
We're actually not going to talk much about Simone Biles. We don't really have to.
I don't think it's needed.
Yeah. We do want to talk about Suni Lee. I remember, a week ago, we were talking about the trials and no one was talking enough about her. Her path back to the Olympics, very fascinating. And people kind of forget that, she was the all-around, I don't know how you forget that, but people kind of forget that she was the all-around gold medalist in Tokyo. And, if things had gone a different way, obviously, like we'd be talking about Simone Biles going for her 3rd all-around gold medal. That wasn't the case. Suni Lee stepped up, and then her path to get back is incredible.
It's truly incredible, and I really want to make sure that people know what she's overcome to do this, because it's still something that she's going through. She has overcome, or has worked through, I guess you could say, 2 different kidney diseases, and for a while was having to go to the Mayo Clinic multiple times a week, and then now it's tapered back. I think she still is going on a somewhat not frequent basis, but what we like a regular pattern, I guess you could say, maybe like once a month or something like that. She is still dealing with this. So what that means is it's truly incredible, one, that she has the endurance to do these routines, not to mention 4 routines, like the 4 events in one competition. But it also means she can't do all of the repetitions that you normally would as a gymnast in order to feel that confidence, in order to feel that poise, and just that like, I got it. I've done this many times. She's not able to do that same number that even she's used to. So mentally, she is overcoming this idea and trying to negotiate with herself. Yes, you can do this. Yes, I've done enough repetitions on these skills. And that's why you're maybe not going to even see all the difficulties she can do, because so much of it right now is what can she do comfortably as far as her physical health and her mental health as well.
And you can just tell how much it meant to her when, she officially got on the team, the interviews after. I mean, such an emotional journey for really all of these young ladies, but for her especially. Looking forward to seeing her. The other athlete I really wanted to touch on, Jade Carey, because her path is also just fascinating. Yeah. And, she is a returning Olympian, but people forget she wasn't technically part of the team, that 4-person team in Tokyo. She went through a different path. She qualified through World Cup points. She competed as an individual.
Yeah.
And then, Simone happened, and
Yeah.
what was Tokyo 2020 happened. But I think she comes into this one, it kind of on a reset, right? I mean, officially part of the team, and it has a lot to give.
What's really interesting about Jade Carey, and we're going to even dive into this a little bit more as we head into the games here on NBC4. And there's a few of these gymnasts on this team who have actually competed at the collegiate level. That is also something that we've only seen once or twice before this year. And when we've seen it before, it's been one gymnast per the team. We now have 3 young ladies on this team who have competed at the collegiate level. What does that mean for Jade Carey? Well, when you compete at the collegiate level, you are competing every single week. That is different than when you're competing at the club or the senior elite level. So that is one thing. You get so used to being on that podium and competing and having the crowd and all of that. And it's something you can tell that Jade has embraced now. The way that she is on balance beam, the way that she even is on floor, which is her event, she now has a showmanship quality to her. And that is so awesome to see. The other thing that she was able to do at the collegiate level is taper back some of her difficulty. So why would that help her at the elite level when you have to have all that difficulty? Well, she could step back and she could focus on making the little tiny things perfect. Those stuck landings, the tight knees, the pointed toes, the little itty bitty things that, especially on the international level, when you have more of a stylistic judging and that sort of thing, they're going to pay attention to. You can just tell she is so much more confident. She's so much more poised this cycle. It's going to be so much fun to see her compete as part of this team this time.
I'm really excited to see all these young ladies for Team USA get onto the mat and get into that gym. Now, we were focusing on Team USA, but you forget that, although this is the toughest team to make, and this is probably the toughest competition that these ladies ever had to go through to make this team, you still got to compete, right? So when you talk about how the US will stack up against the world, and remember, Russia not competing at these games because of the ongoing conflict. Some have forgotten. Because of the ongoing conflict with Ukraine. So they're out. So now it's like, who are they really up against? When I look at, last year's World Championships, Brazil was on that podium with Rebecca Andrade, who's has had quite a career herself. And then, of course, you have France, the Chinese as well. How do you think the U.S. will stack up against other teams?
The U.S., of course, is the team to beat, which is absolutely incredible to say after 3 gymnasts got injured during trials who were probably going to make the team. So it's crazy that is how deep this team is. And they are the ones to beat. They are coming in with the most swagger. They're coming in with the most experience. So it is going to be Team USA. But like you said, you've got to compete. You've got to hit the routines. When you compete in the team competition for qualifying, 4 girls compete, 3 scores count towards that qualifying score. But when it's team finals, it is 3 routines up and 3 scores count. So you've got to hit. You can't fall. A fall is a point deduction. It's absolutely just integral that you have to stay on the apparatus. That's where that veteranship, is that a word? Veteranship.
It is now.
Is going to be huge. Other teams to watch out for, though, if you look even more recent, in early May, the European champion.
A couple months ago during the NCAA championships, couple of Michigan people, sorry, Columbus people. A couple of Michigan people on that team.
There are. And Fred Richard is the one that we're going to have our eyes on. He seems to be the next big time star, just because he has the whole package. He definitely has all of the difficulty, but he also has what we call the lines, the look, those sorts of things. And this is a team of guys that are not as quite as experienced as we've seen from teams in the past, but they definitely have a firepower. And you kind of mentioned it. They're hungry. They've got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. So I think that they definitely could make some noise at these games. They know what they have to do. They know the events where they have to stay on. You just saw the pommel horse. That is going to be key. That is where the United States struggles all the time. And that is why Nedarajic, as we keep having to say his name, that's why he made the team, because he is this year's Alec Yoder. He is this year's guy who's got to stay on the pommel horse. But kind of like I said for the women, you just got to stay on. They've got to stay on the apparatus. And the two is kind of going to be, there's 2 at the top with the men's game, Japan and China. They are going to really be battling for that top spot. For the 3rd spot, it is anyone's game. It really, really is. There are so many teams who could be battling for that 3rd spot. The United States is expected to battle for the bronze. Ukraine That is a team that's going to be battling. They won the Euros, which is so exciting to see. Is with everything going on, they can't even all compete or practice in their country. They won the European Championships. And there's so many other teams as well that are going to be battling for that bronze medal.
I think this is going to be one of the most competitive men's gymnastics competitions we're going to see. Look for Brody Malone to be that vocal leader, especially coming off of his appearance in Tokyo. Well, 3 weeks to go until the opening ceremony. Then we have men's qualifying on day one of competition, women's right after, and then we do all around men, all around women, team men, team women, then all around for the men. You know, I'm just like excited because it's like, and you and I have watched so many Olympics, we like know the schedule by heart now, so it's just like that first like 6 days is going to be so stacked, and so I'm just so excited.
It's going to be great, and all we can really hope for at this point is just everyone stay healthy, everyone get there healthy, everybody get there with their bags, because I can't tell you as a gymnast, it is so nerve-wracking if you're not just hoping everything gets there. Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, just carry it on, ladies. And just carry it on.
So much going on. Got to stick to the routine. Anyway, we can talk gymnastics forever. We can't right now, though, but maybe we will again before the games start. That's Whitney Harding. I'm David DeGuzman. Have a good one, folks.